And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to Sunday River, Maine, at the base of the Barker Mountain, as we prepare for the second run of the 2010 USCSA National Women's Giant Slalom Championship here from Sunday River. We've completed the first run earlier this morning. Exciting ladies competition down this T2 Monday morning trail here at Sunday River. And we are set up for an exciting conclusion here in the second run as we will crown our 2010 national champion in the women's giant slalom sometime here in the next hour. Hi, everybody. Boss Hogg alongside Chris Aliano as we bring you the action from the broadcast booth here in the Barker Timing Center. A beautiful day for ski racing. Temperatures in the lower 30s. Last night, of course, plenty of cold weather to firm this track up after experiencing, unseasonably warm temperatures yesterday. Temperatures all the way up into the lower 40s. An incredible week of snow weather here in the western mountains of Maine as Sunday River received almost 55 inches of the white stuff over a 4-day period. Usually a pretty difficult reality for course crews, but the crew here at Sunday River really putting on quite a performance and a show in getting all of these competitive venues ready to race here over the next 5 days. As we kicked off the 2010 USCSA Nationals yesterday, it all began at Black Mountain, Maine, as the Nordic competition and the cross-country skiers got underway, competing in their opening 1.5-kilometer classic sprint competition. In fact, Chris Aliano, you were there at Black Mountain yesterday for that event. Tell us a little bit about that.
A very exciting event there to kick off this USCSA 2010 National Championships, boss. Strong showing by Wyoming and St. Olaf there. A couple of individual winners. Wyoming taking first with the men, second in the ladies. Very strong showing there. Again, as you said, the course, both there and here, they've just held up so great this year. Racers were a bit worried about the course would turn to, one of the racers said they were worried it would turn to mashed potatoes because it was a little warmer yesterday, but it really did hold up real well, and it was an exciting finish. You really, in Nordic Sprints, it was my first time announcing there. You really do see a lot of excitement there down the stretch when those racers are hurtling towards the finish line. Of course, our own Nick Holden is there today for the 15K, and I heard that was very exciting too. I'm sure he'll stop by later and give us his update there, but a very exciting start to these USCSA National Championships, boss, and it's only going to get better this afternoon.
2010 USCSA National Championships are brought to you by Reliable Racing, your one-stop shop for all that is snow sports, racing and supply, whether it's their full line of winter sports race gear, timing, or hill event supplies. Reliable Racing has the solution for you. And now, Reliable warms up summer with golf course, field, and recreational supplies. Visit them on the web at www.reliableracing.com. Reliable Racing, the official equipment supplier of the USCSA National Championships. Today's broadcast also brought to you by Halti USA, the official clothing supplier of the USCSA National Championships. Halti USA, their passion to provide great outdoor memories. Check out the Halti USA clothing store at the Grand Summit Hotel here at Sunday River this week, or visit them on the web at www.haltiusa.com. Two exciting runs of women's giant slalom action. We will cover the second one for you just momentarily as the final course preparations are taking place. The course workers are slipping and smoothing out this surface as it was somewhat rutted up after the first run. An incredible first run as we saw Kendall Brown from Westminster College come in with the fastest time of a 108.38. She was followed in second place by Kristen Leggett at a 108.84, so almost a half-second variance between the first and second place finishers, and that can be a lot of distance, although this second run, anything can happen. Emma Peck-Coffin in third place, skiing out of Smith College with a 109.12, and then it's tight. In fourth place, Alexandra Gurris from Rocky Mountain College with a 109.29, and Danielle Shannon in the fifth position with a 109.30. So they're bunched up third, fourth, and fifth. In fact, less than a second separating the top five seeds. It should be a fight right to the end here, Chris.
It really will be. That second Every second is going to prove valuable. You look at those 4th and 5th position, just 1/100th of a second separating Alexander Guras and Danielle Shannon of Colby Sawyer. Colby Sawyer, a very strong showing in the Eastern Regionals as well. Their rival Plymouth. Kristen Leggett of Castleton skiing very well all year long in the Thompson division, and she is very, very close behind the leader, Kendall Brown. Just one mistake could wind up costing a gold, either winding up with a gold or a silver, boss, and it's really going to be an exciting finish. Looking at the team standing, Westminster College leading the pack right now. They're followed by SNC, and a very strong showing by Brown, another Eastern Regional representative. Very strong showing there. This is going to be quite a finish, not only with the individuals, but the teams.
Well, you know, an amazing closeness here between the team competition. It looks like Westminster College with a combined time of 2:09.82, and then with Sierra Nevada right behind them at 2:11.22, so only a second and a half, but that's based over 4 racers inside the field, and anything can happen in those team standings. Pretty important also, the team standings, everybody interested in how that goes down, and seems like that's as competitive as a race as the individual parts are.
Now, yes, in skiing, a lot of effort, a lot of the emphasis is based on the individual effort. But once you get to this level, regionals and the national championship, you want to not only bring home a gold for yourself, but you want to represent your team so well. This is the top level, boss. And, of course, if you have the chance for a race for gold, you've got to, it really matters not only if you're the top racer, but the second and the third best racers on your team, that you race 4 or 5 racers, you start 4 or 5 racers, and those top 3 scores factor into your overall team score. So it doesn't matter if you are the overall leader. You have to have your teammates having very respectable runs as well if you want that team gold.
Chris, you've been a competitive ski racer yourself down at Boston University. You know what some of the preparations that go into getting ready for a national championship like this. These girls, of course, they've been skiing all year long, been at various races in and out, having to fight off the injuries that are always prevalent inside ski racing, and they get here to the end. What goes into the final preparation to get ready for a race like this?
Well, of course, you slip it a few times to know just what part of the course will trick you up the most. This is GS, though, so really not a lot of trouble spots. It really is just essential, go through the gates. But you've got to know maybe at one pitch there's a rut in the ground. You have to know if you're going to be wide at the end of one gate. It's really just a lot of mental preparation, and it's a lot of out psyching yourself. Sometimes it'll be in your head that oh, this spot's going to give me trouble. I might be messed up here. It's really just you telling yourself that you'll be able to do this. And you're at the national championships now. You have the best of the best, really. And you look at the DNF list after that first run. Only two ladies, unfortunately, DNF. But that is a phenomenal number compared to other races. That, of course, is a tribute to how talented these ladies are and just how well this course held up.
Of course, skiing, a year-round sport. Training goes on continuously, 12 months a year, and it all culminates here at Sunday River this week in the 2010 USCSA National Championships. We've got the second run of the women's giant slalom here from Barker Mountain in Sunday River, Maine. It's coming up next. Stay tuned right here on the USCSA Radio Network. And welcome back to the 2010 USCSA National Championships as we are just about underway here for the women's second run on the T2 Monday Morning Trail. Boss Hogg alongside Chris Aliano bringing you all of the coverage live here from Sunday River, Maine. And it looks like we are underway here. Our first racer on course, Jill Clevenger. Clevenger, racing out of Clarkson University, was 30th in the first run, and of course that's how we will reverse the order here. The top 30 runners will run in reverse order to start the second round here of the women's GS. Clevenger now making her way into the bottom third. About 7 or 8 gates left for Clevenger. She's looking good. A 1:13.54 was her first time. That was good enough for 30th as she tucks in and across the finish line into the corral. And her total time now for Clevenger, we'll get that for you in just a second. But Clevenger now down with a combined time of 2:29.70, and that'll put her into first place. Now Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College, 29th after the first run. She's on course. And now Kristen Anderson, wearing bib number 16 from Syracuse University, had an initial time run of 1:13.14. She is also on course with Louisa Russell Henry from Sierra Nevada College in the start house. And here comes Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College coming across the finish line. And her total time now will move her into first place with a combined time of 2:27.01. So Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College stringing 2 good runs together, and she currently leads this competition. Remember, the top 30 racers reverse order, so they get faster and faster, with the best racers coming in the 25th through 30th position. And we'll see how these times hold up here for the first 15 or 20 skiers as they come through. Now Kirsten Anderson on course from Syracuse University. Had a 1:13.14 in her first round. Moving into the last 5 gates, here she comes. Also on course at the top of the hill, Louisa Russell Henry from Sierra Nevada College. And in the start box, Alexa Owen from Penn State University. Now crossing the line is Kirsten Anderson from Syracuse University, and it moves her into first place with a combined time of 2. No, check that. Check that. That's not correct. Not into first place, but Anderson now with a combined time of 2:33.42. Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College still leading in the first position. Here comes Louisa Russell Henry into the bottom third of the course from Sierra Nevada College. First run at a 1:13.03. She's moving well. Nice easy turns here. She begins her final tuck for the finish line, and under the line she goes. And Louisa Russell Henry now from Sierra Nevada College across the finish line. Total combined time of 2:28.36. That puts her into second place.
Bit slower than her first run, boss. Rocky Mountain College, Sierra Nevada College, of course, going to need all the best times they can get from these ladies. They were in second place after that first run as a team.
So a quick rundown here for the times. Clevenger on her second run at 1:16.16. Mimi Palavara on her second run at 1:13.78, and Kirsten Anderson at 1:20.28. Louisa Russell Henry at 1:15.33. But here comes Alexa Owen from Penn State University as she makes her way down through the finish line now. Alexa Owen moves into fourth place. Her run 1:17.82. Check that, 1:17.62 with a combined time of 2:30.37. Currently Laura Martini now from Boston College on course, and just leaving the starting gate now Meredith Pike from Rochester with Kelly Fitzpatrick from the College of Idaho in the starting box. And here comes Laura Martini from Boston College. She was out in the first round with a 1:12.57. Let's see what she can do here in the last 6 gates. Laura Martini moving quickly through. And now into the tuck for the final section, and under the finish banner she comes. And Laura Martini with a 1:15.00 on her second run, giving her a combined time of 2:27.57. That moves her into second place, still behind Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College, currently leading with a 2:27.01 combined time.
Martini, a strong competitor out of that Eastern Regional. Boston College did very well there. 7th place now after that first run. Laura Martini, one of her BC's top skiers.
Meredith Pyle now on course. Meredith Pyle moving through the course. She's from Rochester. Started with a 112.46 on her first run. Now 4 gates to go for Meredith Pyle. And through the finish line is Meredith Pyle. Check that, it's Meredith Pike, P-Y-K-E. And Meredith Pike across the finish line, good enough for 4th place. Still Mimi Palavara in the lead with a combined time of 2:27.01. Followed by Laura Martini from Boston College. And moving Louisa Russell Henry from Sierra Nevada College into the 3rd slot.
Very strong showing by Miss Meredith Pike. She is just a freshman, so very, very good job seeing these freshmen. So many freshmen, it seems, at these nationals this year. So expect a very, very successful career from her in the years to come.
Now Kelly Fitzpatrick on course from the College of Idaho, followed by Emma Abramson from Sierra Nevada. But first it's Fitzpatrick as she makes her way into the finish at Corral. Across the stripe she comes. And it looks like Fitzpatrick will run into 7th place now with a 119.38 on that run, giving her a combined time of 231.66. Emma Abramson now on course from Sierra Nevada College. And Emily Simmons from Brown University has just left the starting gate. Here comes Emma Abramson from Sierra Nevada. 112.27 was her first run. She's moving quickly here through the final 7 or 8 gates of this course. A very challenging course indeed. They have reset the gates for the second run. Brought them in at an angle here in the last third of the course. And across the finish line comes Abramson. Emma Abramson with a time of 115.59. Total combined time of 227.86. And that moves Emma Abramson into 3rd place. So your rundown right now, Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College in first, Laura Martini from Boston College in second, and Emma Abramson from Sierra Nevada College in the 3rd slot. Of course, now it changes the scores dramatically in the team race standings as Rocky Mountain College with a lead here over Boston College in second and Sierra Nevada in 3rd. On course, Emily Simmons now from Brown University, out in a 112.26 in the first run. She's moving quickly, now in the final tuck underneath the finish banner. And let's take a look at her time. Emily Simmons with a 114.22, a total combined time of 226.48, and that's going to move her into the lead. Emily Simmons from Brown University takes over the lead here with a combined time of 226.48.
She skied the bottom of this run very well, boss, very well. They changed it up, as you said. It seems a little tighter. Girls are going a little slower at the bottom. She skied it very well, second best this run, and that's why she's in the lead now.
So it's Simmons, Palavara, and Martini in the top 3 slots here. But on course, Isa Floden from the Rocky Mountain College. 112.23 was her first time in the first run. She's looking good and tight, staying low, getting into the tuck early as she makes her way into the finish corral. And Isa Floden now with a time of 115.98 and a combined time of 228.21. That'll move her into 5th position. Rocky Mountain College team race standing still leading. Boston College in second, Sierra Nevada College in third. Clarkson University in fourth, Penn State University in fifth, and Syracuse in sixth. But lots of racers still to come. As Sophie LeBlanc from Clarkson now on course. She's past the halfway point into the bottom third. Will it be enough to take over Emily Simmons? Here comes LeBlanc in the last 4 gates. LeBlanc staying in a tuck, great form, very tight, great core strength. Across the finish line comes Sophie LeBlanc. And LeBlanc with a second round time of 117.48, a total combined of 229.41, will move her into 8th place.
Nice showing by Miss LeBlanc there. She's a native of Cumberland, Maine, so she skis Sugarloaf a lot, so she knows how these conditions are. And as you say, if you're an Eastern skier, you really are going to know the best conditions and the worst conditions. That's going to give you an advantage on the biggest stages.
Sophie LeBlanc, also a Carrabassett Valley Academy graduate. Now it's Hedvig Spangs from Sierra Nevada College. Hedvig Spangs with a good run at 111.76 to start. Let's see if she can follow it up with something even faster. Wearing bib 56 now into the finish corral is Hedvig Spangs from Sierra Nevada College. And Spangs with a great time, 1:14.39. A combined time of 2:26.15 puts her in the lead. Hedvig Spangs now leading the women's giant slalom competition here with a great second run. Puts her ahead of Emily Simmons. So your top five: Spangs from Sierra Nevada, Simmons from Brown, Palavara from Rocky Mountain College, Martini from Boston College, and Abramson from Sierra Nevada. Perrine Voisin now from Westminster College on the course. They've just let Polly Evans from Whitman College drop in at the top, and Emily Shaletto from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst is in the box. Now coming across the finish line, Perrine Voisin. Perrine Voisin with a great second run of 1:13.32, a combined of 2:24.95. That puts Perrine Voisin into the lead from Westminster College.
A great tight line the whole way down, boss. No, very, very little. She wasn't tentative at all, and that gives her that leading time right there. Very impressive effort there by Miss Voisin.
So Perrine Voisin now in charge from Westminster College at 2:24.95 is the time to beat. A substantial increase, too. A 2:26.15 is the combined time from Hedvig Spangs from Sierra Nevada. So Perrine Voisin really putting it together in the second run, and she currently leads this 2010 national event. On course, though, Polly Evans from Whitman College. Also Emily Shaletto now out of the starting gate from UMass Amherst. To the finish line comes Polly Evans wearing bib number 4. Polly Evans with a good run, a second run. Let's take a look at the time for Polly Evans. A little slower for Polly, 1:17.94. That'll give her a combined time of 2:29.50. And that currently puts Polly Evans in 11th place. So here's your top five: Perrine Voisin, Hedvig Spangs, Sophie LeBlanc. No, check that. Hedvig Spangs, Emily Simmons, Mimi Palavara, and Laura Martini. Those are your top five. As we see Emily Shaletto from UMass Amherst now in the bottom third. 5 gates to go for Shaletto. She'll be followed by Jeanette Seski, but here is Shaletto. Now Shaletto across the line in 1:15.02. A combined time of 2:26.42. Good enough for third place. So things really heating up, Chris, as positions starting to change as we burn through this group of the top 30 from the first run.
We're into the second half of this flip now, boss, and you really get to see an incredible increase in talent. These final 15 ladies really skied well in the first run, really skied all year long, and you're going to see something special now as this flip gets into the latter half.
And it is Jeanette Seski currently on course. She's skiing for St. Olaf College. Here comes Jeanette Seski. A 1:11.34 to start the first round. Can she do it again? Will she improve upon her time? 2 gates to go. She's in the tuck, and now into the finish corral across the line comes Jeanette Seski. And Seski with a second round time of 1:17.46. And a combined effort of 2:28.80. So it looked like Jeanette had some problems up there at the top of the run, Chris.
Looks like she might have gotten a little late up at the top, and that's really weird. You haven't seen a lot of that lately because it's really loose at the top of that course. A lot of wide turns, and she just made a mistake up there, and that cost her at the end.
It really heats up now. Kia Mosenthal from Brown University, followed by her teammate Krista Consiglio from Brown University. They're both on course. Kia Mosenthal now in the second. About 8 gates to go. 7, 6, and 5 gates to go. She's skiing well, staying in the tuck all the way. Here comes Kia Mosenthal across the line from Brown University in 1:15.09, giving a combined time of 2:26.23, good enough for third place. So the standing shift again. Perrine Voisin still in the lead from Westminster College, followed by Hedvig Spangs at Sierra Nevada. And now Kian Mosenthal in the third position out of Brown. Krista Consiglio, her teammate from Brown, also now on the course. And just coming out of the start gate is Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State. But first it's Consiglio. Consiglio now moving through the last 10 gates. She is in a full tuck. They have really opened this bottom part of the section of this course up. These girls are staying in their tucks all the way into the finish line. Comes Krista Consiglio from Brown. And a 1:15.29 for her second run. Combined time of 2:25.82. That's good enough for second place. So Krista Consiglio moving into the second place bracket behind Perrine Voisin. Now Martina Ryberg on course from Plymouth State University. Ryberg out in a 1:10.17 in the first run. And she is letting it all hang out here as she gets through the halfway point. Now into the bottom third. skiing very well. You can see on the reset, Chris, that the girls are able to take a little more speed through the bottom section of this course, and they're taking advantage of it as Ryberg crosses the finish line for Plymouth State. Her time 1:13.44 for the second run, and a combined score of 223.61. It puts Martina Ryberg in the lead now, ahead of Parid Voisin. So now Ryberg from Plymouth State takes over the top spot.
The freshman from Stockholm, Sweden. She tore up the Eastern Regionals, and now she sits in first as the second part of this flip goes by. A very impressive effort by Ryberg. Not sure if it's going to hold, but she should definitely be proud of herself. Real great effort there. Aggressive the whole way down, boss.
Now Parid Finsand from Boston College on course. She's past the halfway mark into the bottom third. Now leaving the start shack, Maria Camilla Francini from Westminster College. But first, it's Perry Finsand. Now Perry Finsand into the tuck and across the finish line. Perry Finsand with a second run time of 1:15.91 and a combined effort of 225.83. That's good enough for fourth place. So your top three, Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State in the lead ahead of Parid Voisin from Westminster College and Krista Consiglio from Brown in the third spot. Maria Camilla Fraschini from Westminster College comes down into the last 10 sets of gates in a full tuck, letting it all hang out. These girls are really carrying some great speed here in the bottom part of this course as Fraschini crosses the finish line. And Fraschini with a second run time of 1:13.86. That'll move her into second place with a combined effort of 223.67. So a good run from Maria Camilla Fraschini for Westminster College. And now your top five, Ryberg, Fraschini, Voisin, Consiglio, and Finsand. But they just keep getting faster, Chris, as we have flipped the order. So the fastest skiers still have yet to come down. It's anybody's race, though. These girls here need to put in an exceptional second run to have a chance to make up the time that was lost after the first run. And Joanna Gilson now from Sierra Nevada College. Into her tuck, into the final stretch, and under the finish line she comes. And Joanna Gilson with a 1:13.98 for her second run. Combined time at 2:23.77, good enough for third place.
It's all about skiing the top of the course clean, boss. They made it tighter at the top, and it's really, you can't have a lot of chattering with your skis. Or else that's going to slow you down. You've got to take a lot of speed into the bottom of this course. You see girls starting their tuck about 10 gates up, and that means they have a lot of room now. They got to take a lot of speed outside of that last pitch and into the finish line.
Just 6 racers to come, and we're probably going to see one of these girls in the next 6 move into one of the podium positions. Let's take a look at Stein Lund from Sierra Nevada College as she makes her way under the finish line. Stein Lund now across the line she goes with a 1:14.19 on her second run. Combined score of 223.86. That puts her into fourth place. So not good enough for Lund on the second run. But Alyssa Dean, check that, Alyssa Dean from Plymouth State, now on course. She was out in 109.48, so really they're a part of the pack of the initial leaders. That group of 5 girls that came out of the first run, this is one of them. Danielle Shannon needs to really string it together. Giving it all her got as she makes her way past the halfway point, now into the bottom third. Takes the tuck early, has to get out, but comes right back to it. Skiing well, staying low and still. Here comes Alyssa Dean. Will it be enough? Alyssa Dean with a second run time of 1:17.09, so no, it will not. A combined time for Dean of 2:27.50. Check that, 2:26.57 will put her into 12th place. So it appears some trouble for Dean. Must have been up at the top of the run, and she moves into 12th place. Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State still in the lead. Maria Camilla Fraschini in second place from Westminster, and Joanna Gilson from Sierra Nevada College is in third. But here comes Danielle Shannon. Danielle Shannon now on course, making her way to the finish line from Colby Sawyer College. And Danielle Shannon, not good enough except for 6th place, moves her into 6th with a 1:15.97. Total combined time of 2:25.27. And we are getting down to it. Gurris coming down, Coffin coming down, Leggett coming down, and Brown coming down. Those are going to be your 4 fastest girls from the first round. It's anybody's race now as Alexandra Gurris from Rocky Mountain College. She is on course into the bottom third. Split times weren't very fast. Looks like she might have had some problems up atop the course. Let's see if she can make the time up. She's trying to hold the tuck all the way through the last 4 gates, and she does. And across the finish line is Alexandra Gurris. And Gurris, not good enough except for 7th place now with a combined time of 2:25.33, 1:16.04 on her second run. Now on course, Emma Peck Coffin from Carabasset Valley Academy and Smith College in Carabasset Valley, Maine. Coffin skied in the 2008 U.S. Nationals. It was her first national competition for the U.S. division, and now here she wants to see if she can put something together. Emma Peck Coffin now from Smith College. She was out on the first run in 109.12. Does she have enough? Here comes Emma Peck Coffin. And under the grandstand she is into the corral, Emma Peck Coffin. And a time for Coffin of 1:15.18. And that'll be good enough for 5th place in a combined effort of 2:24.30. So Emma Coffin now in 5th place. Your leader still Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State. Could it be out of the pack, Chris Eliano? Martina Ryberg out of nowhere coming out with an incredible second run and linking 2 good runs together. She leads this thing with just 2 racers to go. Kristen Leggett, second fastest in the first run. She is now on course. Coming through the bottom third from Castleton College. Here comes Kristen Leggett into the tuck. Will she have enough? Across the finish line is Kristen Leggett. Let's see the time. Kristen Leggett moves into the lead with a combined time of 2:22.33 and 1:13.49. Only 1 racer left to beat her, and she's on course. Kendall Brown now led the first round. Will she be able to hold on for a victory in a national championship here at Sunday River? Kristen Leggett sitting here in the corral waiting to see as Kendall Brown makes her way down. She is moving like a tremendous machine, trying to stay in the tuck in between the gates. Here comes Kendall Brown from Westminster College. Kendall Brown letting it all hang out. She had a fantastic first run. Can she follow it up? Will it be Leggett? Will it be Brown? Here comes Kendall Brown in the last gate. Tucks into the finish. Across the finish line comes Kendall Brown. And it's not enough. It's not enough. Kendall Brown with a 1:14.69 and a 2:23.07 combined score puts her into 2nd place. Kristen Leggett from Castleton College will be the winner today of the women's 2010 USCSA National Championship Giant Slalom. An incredible effort by Kristen Leggett, coming in with a 1:13.49, the 3rd fastest time on the second run, but adding that to her 1:08.84 in the first run gave her a combined of 2:22.33, and Leggett is able to overtake Kendall Brown right on the last run there with a fantastic performance. That's some exciting ski racing right there, Chris.
It's all about consistency, boss. And Kristen Leggett, she's been a consistently great skier all year long for Castleton at the Thompson Division level, at the Eastern Regionals, and now the second best run in the first run. Now the 3rd best time in the second run. That's all. That you got to be consistent, and that's good enough for first. Of course, Miss Brown had the 1st best time in the first run, and now only the 10th best time in the second run. A very good effort by Martina Ryberg, 2nd best time in the second run, but she also had the 11th best time in the first run, and you just see Leggett was the most consistent one, and that's why she's in 1st place after the flip.
So Kristen Leggett from Castleton College. And we're Kristen Leggett from Castleton College. Looks like in the first position here, she will be the winner of this year's competition. Kendall Brown from Westminster College in the 2nd slot. Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State in the 3rd position. That should be your podium. Maria Camelia Fraschini from Westminster College in the 4th slot. And Joanna Gillison from Sierra Nevada College into the 5th slot. So your top 5 look like that. Amy Gifford now on course along with Ulrich Nikolaisen from Westminster. But the top 30 times already through here as we have completed the reverse order switch, and barring some miracle of time here, that should be your official result. So congratulations to Kristen Leggett from Castleton College, finishing second on the first run, third on the second run. But as you said, Chris, consistency, putting it together, gives her the best combined time of 2:22.33. And, of course, that'll shuffle around the team race standings as well, as it is a battle now between Westminster College and Sierra Nevada College. They are fighting it out just neck and neck here as far as times. And as their racers continue to come down, those results will change as well. Now coming across, Ulrich Nikolaisen from Westminster College across the finish line. Melissa Caney is on course from Stanford. And from Northern Michigan University, Brittany Barber. But Kristen Leggett is the 2010 champion here in the Giant Slalom. A fantastic run, both runs. Kendall Brown, of course, out first in the first run with an impressive time of 108.38. But then, Chris, it appears she struggled up there with a 114.69 in the second run, only good enough for 10th place on the second run.
Can't see what's going on at the top of the course. Seems like a lot of the top 15 racers from that first run had some trouble up there. Not sure what's so different about it, but you have to take a lot of speed, and you have to ski that top of the course real cleanly in order to carry that speed into the bottom of this run, where it really opens up, and you see these girls tucking the whole time.
Isn't the story, though, for Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State? She was 11th after the first run, and then came and laid it down in 113.44 on the second run, giving her a combined time of 2:23.61. It was able to move her up from 11th position after the first run to a podium slot of third place. An incredible second run performance from Martina Ryberg. So your top 10 now: Kristen Leggett in first from Castleton College, Kendall Brown second at Westminster College, Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State will be third. That's your podium. Then in fourth place, Maria Camilla Fraschini from Westminster. In fifth, Joanna Jolison from Sierra Nevada. In sixth, Stein Lund, also from Sierra Nevada. In seventh, Emma Peck Coffin from Smith College. In eighth, Perrine Voisin from Westminster. In ninth, Danielle Shannon from Colby Sawyer. And in 10th place, Alexandra Guris from Rocky Mountain College. So the top 5 positions in the first run definitely shifted and changed. Martina Ryberg moving up the most, obviously, from 11th to 3rd place. And Kristen Leggett and Kendall Brown changing positions, as Brown had it won at the first run, but of course it is the combined time that counts. And as a result of Leggett having a fiery second run, and Brown seemed to struggle a little bit on the second run, Leggett is able to move ahead of Brown and take home her first national championship here from the 2010 USCSA Nationals from Sunday River.
Leggett and Ryberg, just freshmen too, boss. That's something to know. So you're going to see, just to think, as a freshman taking home a gold and a bronze, you have a lot of potential as these years go on. So great stuff out of those two girls.
It all gets started in events like this. You find the young people, they come into collegiate skiing, and they automatically take control their first year out. It does put a lot of pressure on them for the remainder of their collegiate ski career, but what a great way to end your first season of collegiate ski racing than to have a national championship here at Sunday River. Westminster College and Sierra Nevada College battling it back and forth here in the team race standings. Currently Westminster ahead, 431 to 433. Remember, it's the lowest number as a result of a combination of times which determine the team race standings. But they fight that out. Westminster College, along with Sierra Nevada, Brown, Rocky Mountain College, and UMass Amherst in the top 5 slots. Julia Mason on course. Lexi Dressel now also on course. Mason skiing for Lafayette. Dressel skiing for Whitman College. But the day belongs today to Kristen Leggett from Castleton College, throwing down a great second run to move herself into the first position. Kendall Brown, fastest out in the first run, seemed to struggle in the second just enough to allow Leggett to move ahead of her. But the surprise of the day, Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State, moving out of the 11th position in the first run to capture a podium slot in third place. Here comes Lexi Dreschel from Whitman College. She was out in 1:15.5. Abby Nolan from UMass Amherst now on course. And Anna Hosmer from Colby Sawyer College in the start gate. Across the finish line comes Lexi Dreschel from Whitman College. Her second run, 1:20.26, giving her a combined time of 2:35.76. Let's go down some list here of times in case our timing system down there at the board did not catch them. Second run times now for bib number 3, Alexandra Gurris of 1:16.04, combined time of 2:25.33. Bib 26, Emma Peck Coffin, second run 1:15.18, combined time of 2:24.30. Wearing bib number 2, Kendall Brown. We've already got Kendall. Well, let's check that anyways. Kendall Brown, second time of 1:14.69 for a combined time of 2:23.07. Heidi Skinner, bib number 37, a second time of 1:18.52 for a combined time of 2:32.12. Wearing bib 59, Amy Gifford, second round of 1:18.09 and a combined time of 2:31.87. Ulrich Nicolaisen, bib number 70, second time of 1:15.11, combined of 2:29.19. Wearing bib 18, Melissa Canny from Stanford University, second round of 1:18.45 and a combined time of 2:32.66. Brittany Barber, second round time of 1:23.84 and a combined time of 2:38.06. Barber wearing bib number 10. Bib number 25 belonging to Amanda Peterson. Her second run at 1:19.73 and a combined effort of 2:34.66. Bib 51, second round of 1:20.37, combined of 2:35.41. Bib number 23, Julia Mason, 1:21.92 with a combined of 2:37.31. Now Abby Nolan has come across with bib number 87 and 1:19.53 for a combined of 2:35.19, as has Anna Hosmer in bib 85, 1:19.10 and a combined of 2:34.76. Catherine Stewart now across the finish line from Brown in 1:20.11, wearing bib number 83, and a combined of 2:35.77, and immediately followed by Alexandra Albrecht. Now Albrecht across the finish line from Plymouth State in a 1:18.62. That'll give her a combined time of 2:34.35.
Alex Albrecht skiing out of Plymouth, a very strong program there. She's a senior, so hoping to go out strong in her career here in her GS and slalom events here at the National Championships.
Brianna Kohlberg now on course from Castleton College. Up in the start shack awaits Andrea Wallace from Stanford. And here comes Brianna Kohlberg from Castleton. Makes her way into the bottom third. About 5 or 6 gates left for Brianna Kohlberg. Now here comes Kohlberg through the last gate and across the stripe. And Kohlberg books a 1:21.77. Wearing bib number 32. That'll make her combined time 2:37.57. So a great race here this morning as we saw 30 ladies reverse order. And it seemed like it was anyone's race, especially as we got into the last 15, Chris.
Yeah, those last 5 racers to go. Of course, the top 5 after that first run, they were within a second of each other, and boy, did that shake up to be much different. Of course, with Martina Ryberg, 11th after that first run, storming in with a second best time here in the second run, taking third. You see Maria Camille Francini had a 9th best time in the first run. That was good for 5th in the second, moved her up for 4th. So you didn't see, those top 5 girls after the first run really didn't defend their times well. And you saw girls like Leggett taking the lead. Of course, she was second after that first run, all about consistency there, and Martina Ryberg. And that was really the theme for those top 5 ladies in the second run at the bottom of the flip.
Kristen Leggett winning today's competition. A great performance by her. Kendall Brown in the second spot. Martina Ryberg sneaking up onto the podium will finish in the 3rd position. Now Andrea Wallace from Stanford awaits in the start box. Looks like we've got a hold on the course here as they're going to slip some things out. And Brianna Kohlberg across the line one more time on her times at 121.77, giving her combined time of 237.57. Still a course hold here, and it looks like we have Nick Holden has just gotten back from Black Mountain down there in Rumford, Maine. We're going to try to get an update from him as to what was going on over in Rumford today. Broadcasters all over the place here as part of the 2010 USCSA Nationals. And, Nikki, you were down at the cross-country venue today. Tell us about what was going on over there.
Sure was. Today at Black Mountain in Rumsford, Maine, we had the men's and women's 8.5-kilometer freestyle race. A very different look from yesterday when we had the sprints. Definitely some endurance events today, and St. Olaf really ended up cleaning up, taking the top spots in the men's and the women's.
So St. Olaf, impressive down there on the cross-country. Now, it is a very different event. When they run the distance events versus the sprint events, it's a completely different way to approach cross-country skiing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of these races, you had some of those top racers just collapsing through the finish line. It's definitely a very strenuous course. And for the men, Tom Jorgensen of St. Olaf ended up taking the gold. Matt Delaney of Clarkson the silver, and Scott Crankala of Western State taking the bronze. Over on the women's side, we had Emma Lee of St. Olaf leading the pack by over a minute. She was followed by Sarah Fleming, her teammate, and Eloise Zimbelman of Whitman.
So excitement down from Rumford, Maine over at Black Mountain, a beautiful cross-country facility that they have here out there. Of course, only to be rivaled by the excellent facilities we've been able to utilize here at Sunday River this week as Andrea Wallace from Stanford University makes her way across the finish line. And Wallace across in 121.43, giving her combined time of 237.24. Nikki, thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to you real soon. I know you'll be back here in the broadcast booth tomorrow for the men's giant slalom, so we look forward to seeing you then.
Absolutely. Definitely look forward to that.
Nikki Holden now back from Rumford and the cross-country competition going on there this morning. Chris Aliano, now the women have a day off. They get to watch the men go through their giant slalom motions tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting both the first and second run of that. They'll take the day off to train for the slalom, but then we're back at it again on Friday morning for these girls to compete in the slalom race. 2 runs of slalom will take place on Friday. What do? You shake the cobwebs out of your head. You try to get a nice warm shower and a hot tub and rest the legs and get out and do it all again tomorrow in training and then be ready for another national championship race.
Oh, boy, boss. Well, competing at such a high level, that is the Thompson division. We only have days off on these weekends, only a night off to think about it. But, boy, after these GS events, your legs are just so tired. It's such a strenuous course. Look at the average time, about, I'd say, 1:15 the second run. And that really does take a toll on your body. And then, of course, you've got to set yourself up mentally for slalom, which is so much different than GS, in fact, of, knowing the course itself. So definitely necessary to take the day off for your legs, and of course you have to get mentally prepared for the tests that are the slalom course.
Now across the line from Colby Sawyer, it is Nicole DiNapoli. Nicole back in a 120.24 for her second run, giving her a combined time of 236.18. Now on course from Clarkston, it's Catherine Jandro. And now coming out of the start gate from the University of Wisconsin at Madison is Janelle Schofield. Catherine Goller from Plymouth State up in the start shack waiting to come down. And here comes Catherine Jandro from Clarkson. Catherine Jandro now from Clarkson across the finish line in 120.87. I'll give her a combined time of 236.95. And Janelle Schofield now on course. Catherine Goller from Plymouth State on course. And in the start house waiting to come down, Victoria Glazinski from Westminster College.
Nice showing there by Miss Catherine Jandro, a freshman out of Waitsfield, Vermont. Skiing isn't her only collegiate athletic prowess. She's also a member of the varsity lacrosse team.
So Janelle Schofield on course, Catherine Goller on course. And here comes Schofield from University of Wisconsin in Madison. 124.40 on her second run, combined time of 240.62. Catherine Goller now through the halfway point into the bottom third. Plymouth State University is out in 116.47. Victoria Glasinski now from Westminster on course. And from St. Olaf, it's Kayla Johnson in the start house. Here comes Catherine Goller now in the last four gates. Goller from Plymouth State University. And she's across the finish line in 119.36, giving her a combined time of 235.83.
Member of that very good Plymouth Racing team's boss, and of course all these runs are going to count for Plymouth now. They're sitting at fifth right now in the team standings, trying to bump up to third, get into that podium, occupied right now by fellow Eastern Regional rival Brown.
Tight at the top in the team race standings here for the ladies. Westminster College with a combined of 431.69. Right behind them, Sierra Nevada College at 433.78. So just a couple of seconds separates the two teams now, which is really amazing. A close competition between those two schools as Victoria Glazinski from Westminster College, she comes across the line in 119.47 for a combined time of 236.01. Kayla Johnson from St. Olaf now on course, making her way through. And they've just let Hannah Jemstead from University of California at Davis out of the start house. Kelly Tingle from Colby Sawyer is now in the start house awaiting her run. But on course is Kayla Johnson and Hannah Jemstead. Victoria Glazinski crossed over in 119.47 with a combined time of 236.01. And here comes Kayla Johnson across the finish line in 122.21 for a combined time of 238.93.
Very impressive effort by Kayla Johnson, skiing on a torn knee. She's not letting that stop her today. So tip of the hat to you, Miss Johnson, skiing through pain. Love to see that.
Hannah Jemstead from the University of California, Davis on course. Now Kelly Tingle is dropped in from Colby Sawyer. And Tori Anderson from Whitman College awaits in the start house. And with 3 gates to go, here comes Hannah Jemstead. Jemstead from UCal Davis. And now she's across the line with a 124.83 combined time of 241.57. Kelly Tingle still on course. Now Tori Anderson has dropped on course from Whitman College. Lori Tashler from St. Olaf up in the start house awaiting her run. Let's quickly review the top 5 for you here. Kristen Leggett reversing a first run order from second place to first place. Just beating out Kendall Brown, but Leggett from Castleton College, she'll take the national championship title home with her tonight. Kendall Brown coming in second from Westminster College. And sneaking onto the podium from Plymouth State after being 11th in the first run Somehow coming back and really throwing it down is Martina Ryberg. In fourth position from Westminster College, Maria Camilla Francini. From Sierra Nevada College in the fifth spot, Joanna Gillison. Stein Lund moved into the sixth position from Sierra Nevada. Emma Peck Coffin now in the seventh slot from Smith. Perrine Voisin from Westminster College in the eighth position. And ninth, Danielle Shannon from Colby Sawyer. And rounding out the top 10 from Rocky Mountain College, Alexandra Gurris. Kelly Tingle from Colby Sawyer across the finish line in 121.35 with a combined time of 238.16. Now Tori Anderson, she too has come across the finish line from Whitman College in 123.43 with a combined time of 240.43. Lori Tashler and Kelly Burgart both on course. Here comes Tashler from St. Olaf, making her way into the final three gates here on this Monday morning run at Sunday River. And here's Tashler. She crosses at 123.88 with a combined time of 241.40. Kelly Burgart now from Boston College right behind her. Burgard out in 117.65. Although we don't see Burgard coming over the head wall here, so we're going to try to get some verification as to what may have happened at the top of this run. 49 gates. Check that, 46 gates is the length of the second run. They really spread the gates out as well, so a very, very different second run than the first run here. And Kelly Burgard now is on course, but looks like she skied out here in front of us, so she was able to get through whatever happened at the top, and then as soon as she came over the head wall into our vision here from the bottom of Barker Mountain, it looked like she skied out and skidded out, but it appears she's okay. She is up and walking away.
Looks like Molly Testweed, bib number 90, bib number 101. Looks like she clipped a gate up there. She's going to be a DNF as well. I saw a ski pop off, so hope she's okay. Looks like we'll have Molly McLeod on course now, fan favorite representative of the McConnell division of the Eastern Regionals.
Colby Sawyer College is where Molly McLeod attends. And here comes McLeod. You know, Chris, an interesting course here in the second set as they really spread the gates out. A lot of switches and moves back and forth from the left to the right side of the run. It seemed as if the first run seemed to be a little bit more straightforward, which usually means more speed, but these girls are working for it here on the second run as Molly McLeod makes her way across the finish line in 1:19.26 with a combined time of 2:37.76.
Yeah, the top of that course, especially at the end of this first pitch here, much different. You have to go from left to right. You're really traversing the whole mountain, but it really is wide, so you can carry plenty of speed if you're aggressive enough. Then right at the end of the pitch, it gets a little more tighter, but then it really opens up again in this last little hill towards the finish line. Molly McLeod skiing that part of the course perfectly. Very nice second run there for her. She had some trouble. She got wrapped up in a gate in the first run there, courtesy of her 59th place finish there after the first run. But very impressive run there by Molly McLeod. She is a senior. This is her last Nationals weekend there, so we'll be looking out for her in the slalom event as well.
Wearing bib number 94 is Laura Mansell from St. Olaf. Currently on course, just coming over the head wall. And they've just allowed Caitlin Pollock now to leave the gate. So Caitlin Pollock, wearing bib 57, has left the top and in the start house now, awaiting her run from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst is Allison Hubbard. Here comes Laura Mansell from St. Olaf. and Laura Mansell now. Into the last second to the last gate. Now the last gate, now into the finish corral. Laura Mansell with a 123.00, giving her a combined time of 2:42.07. But the day belongs to Kristen Leggett from Castleton College with an impressive two-run combination, 2:22.33. Vaulted her from second place after the first run into first place. Kendall Brown giving up the top position. She was by far the fastest run of the day, almost a half a second ahead of Leggett after the first run, but then seemed to struggle in the second run. And the combined time sends her to second place. The big surprise, Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State, after finishing 11th in the first run, came back and really threw a run down, the second fastest, in fact, of the entire second round. And it was enough to propel her up to the third slot, where she'll take a podium position tonight during the award ceremony.
Team standings really not changing much now as we enter the second half of the second half of the total competitors going on today. You're going to need to see an extremely lopsided time to really move around much of the timings, but it looks right now like Westminster will be able to hang on to that 2-second lead in front of Sierra Nevada and Brown, a 5 seconds back of Sierra Nevada in third. You really don't expect that to change much now in the second half of the competitors now, boss.
Now across the finish line from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst is Allison Hubbard, 123.58, giving her a combined time of 2:43.24. Wearing bib 90, Heather Patterson from Castleton. She's on course, followed by bib number 102, Brittany Anderson from Rocky Mountain College. Megan Thies, also from Rocky Mountain College, in the start house, ready to come down. Here comes Heather Patterson. Into the last four gates comes Patterson. Trying to maintain her tuck. Looks pretty still and good across the line. And Patterson with a 123.27 and a combined score of 242.96. You know, Chris, I don't know if we'll see much more activity here on the team race standings, as I'm certain that the fastest times are probably already down. And what an incredible competition that turned out to be, as Westminster College with 431.69 leads Sierra Nevada College at 433.78. So just a little over 2 seconds separates the top two teams. Brown University in third at 438.53, followed in fourth place by Rocky Mountain College, and Plymouth State in the fifth slot at 444.53. So it appears Westminster College might take home the team race standings here for the women's GS, just edging out Sierra Nevada College. Brittany Anderson across the line, as I said, 124.40 and 244.18 is the combined score. On course, Megan Thies now from Rocky Mountain College, wearing bib number 88. Out in 119.93, here comes Thies. Megan Thies now into the last gate, staying in her tuck, and across the finish line she comes. So Megan Thies with a 125.85, giving her a combined time of 245.78. Wendy Kalkas from Stanford, along with Sabrina Bettel from University of California, Davis on course. Christina Sundin from Castleton College in the start house. And it looks like that Wendy Kalkas from Stanford has missed a gate and has skied out. We're going to check that bib number as she comes by, but we believe Kalkas. Nope, check that. That's incorrect. That's why we check the bib numbers, isn't it?
That might have been Molly Testweed. I believe I saw bib number 101. That might have been her. She popped a ski up quite a number of racers back. So good to see she's up and running.
So our apologies to Wendy Kalkas. Kalkas does finish indeed comes across the finish line in 1:26.21 with a combined score of 2:48.50. So Wendy Kalkas from Stanford completes her 2 runs. Now Sabrina Bettel from University of California, Davis. And now on course, Christina Sundin from Castleton College. In the box waiting to come down, Emily Duncanson from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. But first, it's Sabrina Bettel from UCal Davis. She tucks into her last gate, and under the finish banner she flies. Check that, Sabrina Bettel with a 1:29.51 and a combined time of 2:50.18.
Very nice effort there by Sabrina, a junior. Lists one of her snowboarding skiing accomplishments as qualifying for nationals. She likes to run, hike, go backpacking, playing soccer, and also enjoys reading. Wish I knew how to do that, boss.
Oh, I bet you know how to do that, Chris. They teach you all that stuff at BU, don't they?
That is debatable.
So Christina Sundin across the finish line now. We're waiting on Elizabeth Loftus from Cornell University. But a big day again for Kristen Leggett. Castleton College, she will be our winner today, barring a miracle on ice.
I wouldn't say ice, rather, boss. This course has held up quite well. Now, I know the Thompson division, we had a race here at the beginning of January, and my fellow teammate Nick Holden can attest to the fact that this was a indeed solid sheet of ice, but conditions really holding up well in this first day of Alpine competition.
Waiting on Elizabeth Loftus now to come down from Cornell. She's still at the top. Looks like they're getting the course situated here.
Looks like bib number 48, Emily Duncanson, wound up DNFing up there in the court there on the course. We, of course, cannot see her. Could be that the course hold is for that as well. Hope she's okay.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, right here at the bottom of Barker Mountain, as we will bring you live coverage of the 2010 men's giant slalom, both runs, 1 and 2. We'll broadcast it to you as well on the USCSA radio network. Make sure you check out our entire broadcast schedule at www.uscsa.com. Also, final results to all of the events taking place here at Sunday River and Black Mountain, all part of the 2010 USCSA National Championship. That can be found at the www.uscsa.com website. Now Elizabeth Loftus on course from Cornell University. She'll be followed by Cooper Dindal from Northern Michigan University and Emily Burritt now from Lehigh in the start house. Castleton College's Kristen Leggett winning today's women's giant slalom national championship, followed by Kendall Brown. Martina Ryberg out of the 11th place slot after the first run, taking a podium third position after a magical second run she had. Maria Camilla Francini in the fourth spot from Westminster. Sierra Nevada's Joanna Gillison in the fifth position. Running down the 6th through 10th finish order, Stein Lund in 6th place from Sierra Nevada College. Emma Peck Coffin in the 7th slot from Smith. Westminster's Perrine Voisin in the 8th position. Colby Sawyer's Danielle Shannon in the 9th slot. And rounding out the top 10 from Rocky Mountain College is Alexandra Gurris. Now across the finish line from Northern Michigan University is Cooper Dindal, 131.73 with a combined score of 253.44. Emily Burritt from Lehigh and Emma Mazur from Clarkson College, both on course, while Jessica Frankowski from Northern Michigan University awaits at the top in the start house. And across the finish line now comes Emily Burritt from Lehigh with 129.78, combined score of 251.50. Emily Mazur now on course from Clarkson. She was out in 122.05. Makes it through the halfway part, now working her way down to the lower third. You know, Chris, it's amazing to watch these course workers change the courses dramatically as they do in between the first and second run. And certainly today we saw two very different race courses. Our first course very much straight up and down, really generating a lot of speed, whereas this second run course, they have used the fences and spread out each of the gate placements to both sides of this Monday morning run, and it certainly tested the skills of all of these racers in both setups. I think you had, a complete gamut of conditions for these girls to race in during this Giant Slalom National Championship.
You don't really see it to this extreme in Giant Slalom. You like to see that more in Slalom. But, boy, that first one really tested racers' ability to pick up speed and carry it the whole way down. And this, more of the tactical aspect that they're testing of these racers. So it's great to see. And, of course, the best results here, Kristen Leggett, Kendall Brown, Martina Ryberg, were able to ski consistently well in both of those runs, as both the tactical aspect and the speed aspect.
Now crossing the finish line from Northern Michigan University is Jessica Frankowski. Her second run at 125.99, giving her a combined run of 248.10. Katie Kerman now from College of Idaho, followed by her teammate, Kari Toning, also from College of Idaho. They're both on course, while Penn State's Katrina Kissel waits for her second run from the start shack. Now coming into the bottom third is Katie Kernan from the College of Idaho. And into the finish corral is Katie Kernan. The second round time for Kernan of 127.83, giving her a combined time of 250.11.
Very nice effort there by Miss Kernan, a junior, one of the co-captains of that College of Idaho ski team. Katie, of course, says that she likes skiing down the road and she wants to be a physical therapist.
Kari Toning now, her roommate, also from the College of Idaho, crosses the finish line. She was out in 122.40 now, 127.04 for her second run, giving her a combined time of 249.44. Katrina Kissel from Penn State University on course. Now Kine Cagnes, or perhaps Kim Cagnes. We'll check that, from James Madison University. Bib number 17. She is out of the gate. And in the start house, waiting to come down for her second run from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, is Caitlin Lahr. 5 gates to go for Katrina Kissel from Penn State University. Stays in her tuck. Looks good. Good form all the way through. And across the stripe she flies. Katrina Kissel now completing her second run in 128.07, giving her a combined time of 250.70.
Kat Kissel, as she calls herself, she claims she once beat Lindsey Vonn in Wii Olympics and celebrated by making nachos. Not sure how legitimate those claims are, but boy, if I beat Lindsey Vonn in Wii Olympics, I would probably celebrate differently. I'm sure my teammate Nick Holden can attest to that.
Well, we certainly can't verify that. Of course, the auditors of Ernst & Ernst did not check these athlete biographies before giving them to us, so we have no idea whether they're accurate or not. But I have to assume if she says she beat Lindsey Vonn in a Wii game, she probably did.
Lucky her. I've only had the opportunity to play Lindsey Vonn in any kind of Wii game.
Well, you don't make that stuff up.
No,
I mean,
you
Chris,
don't.
You literally do not. I mean, if you're going to make something up, it's not going to be that now. You're going to say that you actually beat Lindsey Vonn in a giant slalom race, back when you were kids. And she's claiming we, so perhaps that's true.
Well, I'll have to find Miss Cassell afterward and have her verify.
Caitlin Lahr now on course from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, wearing bib 49, James Madison University. Kaylin Ford also on course, and from Castleton College, Katie Martin in the start shack ready to come down. But our champion today from Castleton College, Kristen Leggett, coming out of the second slot from the first run and bypassing Kendall Brown to take the victory. Kendall Brown moving back from first to second from Westminster College. And the big surprise from Plymouth State, Martina Ryberg, moving out of the 11th position after round number 1 into a podium position, and she'll celebrate that all day long. It's a great recovery for Martina Ryberg. Fourth place, Maria Camelia Francini from Westminster College. Joanna Gillison in the fifth slot from Sierra Nevada. Stein Lund, Emma Peck Coffin, Perrine Voisin, Danielle Shannon, and Alexandra Gurris in the 6th through 10th position. Now coming across the line is Kaylin Ford from James Madison University. Second run in 1:29.59 for a total time of 2:53.56. Katie Martin from Castleton almost into the halfway spot. And Danzig now from the United States Military Academy. She has left the gate. And Julia White wearing bib 34 from Syracuse. She is up at the top awaiting her second run.
Katie Martin, of course, a member of that very good Castleton race team. Dominated the Thompson division all year long. She's just a sophomore. They're very young, of course, with Kristen Leggett, of course, Brianna Kohlberg. Just a very good program they have going there. A lot of promise out of that Castleton program as Katie Martin crossed the finish line.
And Katie Martin across the stripe. Second round time of 1:30.41, giving her a combined of 2:54.69. Ann Danzig from the United States Military Academy skiing today. She's making her way down the course. Yet to come over the head wall, but on course is Julia White, also from Syracuse University. And Cornell's Heather Merkus in the start shack. But first, it's Ann Danzig from the United States Military Academy in the last two gates. And across the stripe she flies. Ann Danzig now. Successfully 2 runs in the book for Danzig. 129.83 for her second run, bringing her to 254.14 for her combined time.
Now that is one well-traveled young woman there, right? Looking at Ann Danzig, a junior out of West Point. She claims, of course, she's been to 41 countries and 50 states. Montana's her favorite of all. You know, boss, I don't think I've been to 50 towns in my whole life, let alone 50 states and 41 countries. Goodness.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you are from the Jersey Shore, why would you need to travel? I mean, really and truly.
Well, we're going to have this argument, boss.
No, let's not. Let's not. Heather Merkus from Cornell University. Wearing bib 115, she's on course, followed by Haley Ells from the University of California at Santa Barbara. Julia White from Syracuse across the line at 121.32 with a combined time of 245.89. And Heather Merkus now making her way into the bottom third. She was out in 125.02. She's followed by Santa Barbara's Haley Ells, and now Julia Piper from Lehigh University is in the start shack. Merkus now across the finish line in 1:30.26. Gives her a combined time of 2:55.28. Haley Els from the University of California at Santa Barbara. Now making her way into the final two gates. And across the stripe comes Haley Els. Els with a 1:38.54 on her second run. I'll give her a combined time of 3:03.80. Meanwhile, Julia Piper now in the middle of the course coming down from Lehigh University. She'll be followed by Rebecca Smith from Cornell. And in the start shack is Penn State's Sarah Sefcock. Here is Julia Piper from Lehigh University. Into the last gate and across the finish line comes Piper. And Piper with a 1:32.71 in her second run, a combined score of 258.00. Rebecca Smith from Cornell University on course. Now Sarah Sefcock from Penn State University. She has left the starting gate. And Melissa Blake from the University of Wisconsin in Madison is in the start house. Rebecca Smith from Cornell across the finish line in 1:29.78 with a combined time of 2:55.38. Wearing bib 71 now into the bottom third, about 8 gates to go. Sarah Sefcock from Penn State University. She's followed by the University of Wisconsin and Madison's Melissa Blake. And now from University of California in Davis in the start shack is Katie O'Neill. Here comes Sarah Sefcock from Penn State University. And Sefcock now across the line in 1:31.99 for a combined time of 2:57.96. Melissa Blake now flying through the halfway section, working her way down into the bottom third. Skiing for the University of Wisconsin, Katie O'Neill from University of California at Davis should be coming over the head wall at any moment now. And Michelle Guy from Syracuse wearing bib number 73. She's still in the race house, awaiting her second run in this women's 2010 USCSA National Championship Giant Slalom race. And across the finish line comes Melissa Blake. Her second run time, 1:32.78, with a combined time of 2:58.94.
Melissa Blake, a senior out of Wisconsin. Some Big Ten action there. Those Badgers. She lists making it down the hill with both skis an accomplishment. I could certainly agree with that. She also says she's a cat lady. Well, Melissa, I consider myself a cat man.
Katie O'Neill from University of California, Davis. Now into the lower third. She'll be followed by Michelle Guy from Syracuse University, and Margaret O'Neill now is on course from the University of California, Davis. Blake Meyer from University of Wisconsin-Madison now in the start shack. And across the finish line comes Katie O'Neill. So UCal Davis's Katie O'Neill with a 1:42.18. That'll bring her final time to 3:08.69. As Michelle Guy from Syracuse University comes into the lower third as well. Also on course at the top, should be coming over the head wall momentarily. In fact, she is. That's Margaret O'Neill wearing bib 77 from Cal Davis. But finishing now from Syracuse, Michelle Guy. And Michelle with a 1:33.74 in her second run, giving her a combined time of 3:00.52. Blake Meyer and Margaret O'Neill still on course. O'Neill leading from the University of California, Davis. And Blake Meyer skiing for the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Penn State's Morgan Filling is at the start shack awaiting her second run. But the day has belonged to Kristen Leggett from Castleton College, winning the women's giant slalom today in an exciting race just about 20 minutes ago, as Margaret O'Neill crosses the finish line in 1:35.59 and a combined time of 3:02.51. Now Erica Riley from Boston College wearing bib 52. She's in the start house. Blake Meyer from Wisconsin making her way through the lower third here. And we should be seeing Morgan Filling from Penn State University at the top. And Blake Meyer from the University of Wisconsin in Madison crosses the finish line. Blake Meyer, with a time of 1:35.28 for her second run, gives her a combined time of 3:02.80. Morgan Filling now from Penn State University at the halfway spot. We'll be seeing Erica Riley from Boston College, should be coming over the head wall any moment now. And in the start shack from the University of British Columbia is Emma Beatty. Here comes Morgan Filling from Penn State University. And Morgan crosses the stripe in 1:35.71 for a total combined time of 3:03.50. Great skiing action here from the Barker Mountain Lodge. Boss Hogg and Chris Aliano bringing you all of the action here on the USCSA Radio Network. We're glad you're joining us on the World Wide Web. Crossing the finish line now, Erica Riley from Boston College. And she'll come in at a 1:21.35, bringing her a combined time of 2:49.35. So a pretty good run there by Erica Riley late in the pack.
Very nice run by Miss Riley. Very talented Boston College squad there out of the McConnell Division of the Eastern Region. That goes to show you that very impressive run. Also indicative that this course still holding up very well as we enter the final 20 to 30 so competitors here, boss.
Emma Beatty now from the University of British Columbia crosses the finish line in 1:19.19. A really good second run from Beatty.
Very good run. Doesn't even begin to put that together. If those results hold, she was 97th after her first run. She must have made a mistake there. Very impressive. 36th best second run now, boss.
Kendall Burton now on course along with Kristen Bersani. Kendall Burton racing for James Madison University and Kristen Bersani for Syracuse, while Alexandra Anderson from St. Olaf has now dropped in out of the race shack. So 3 on course. Kendall Burton now across the finish line. She comes with a 1:37.73 and a combined time of 3:06.15. Kristen Bersani from Syracuse and Alexandra Anderson from St. Olaf on course.
Kendall Burton says she was a part of the USSA circuit until when she was younger. She got back into racing when she got to JMU, and it looks like those results certainly were for the best. She's just a freshman. JMU was second at the Eastern Regionals, at the USCSA Regionals this year. So great stuff to see there from James Madison.
Alexandra Anderson from St. Olaf. We're watching her come through the halfway into the bottom third here of the course. Alexandra Anderson. Looks like Kristen Bersani has skied off. And here comes Alexandra Anderson wearing bib number 86 from St. Olaf across the finish line. And Alexandra, she'll post a time of 1:28.60 for her second run, giving her a combined time of 2:57.99. Ann Pennington now on course from Cornell, and her teammate behind her, Caitlin Wolcott, also from Cornell. Here comes Pennington through the midsection. You should be seeing Wolcott come across the head wall at some point soon. And Mary Gocha now from Northern Michigan University in the start house.
Down to our final 15 racers now, boss. So don't expect the team standings to change much. Westminster still leading the pack ahead of Sierra Nevada.
And Pennington across the finish line in 1:32.59 from Cornell University. That'll bring her final time to 3:02.23. Caitlin Wolcott, her teammate, now about the halfway point she comes. And Mary Gocha from Northern Michigan University is on course. Audrey Belding, also from Northern Michigan, in the start house, waiting her second run. Just to run down the top five for you once again, the day belongs to Kristen Leggett. She will be your 2010 USCSA National Champion in the Women's Giant Slalom from Castleton College, linking together two huge runs. She was in second place behind Kendall Brown after the first run, but made it up, and she will win a national championship here today. In second place on the podium with her, Kendall Brown from Westminster College, and Martina Ryberg sneaking up out of the 11th position after the first run to bring home a bronze medal and third place podium finish from Plymouth State in really what was the turnaround of the day. So congratulations to Kristen Leggett, our 2010 national champion. Kendall Brown in second, Martina Ryberg in third. Closing out the top five is Maria Camelia Fraschini from Westminster College and Joanna Gillison from Sierra Nevada. Caitlin Wolcott across the finish line in 1:33.25 with a combined time of 3:03.26. And now from Northern Michigan University across the finish line, Mary Gocha in a time of 1:35.60 and a combined time of 3:06.62. They will brag about it for the entire year. The team race standings, we doubt very seriously we'll see much change in those as we get to the end of the order here. Westminster College with a 4:31.69, followed by Sierra Nevada College 4:33.78. It was close. And Brown in the third position at 4:38. Let's run down the top 10 for the college standings. Westminster, Sierra Nevada College, and Brown in the top three slots, followed in fourth by Rocky Mountain College, Plymouth State University, University of Massachusetts at Amherst, Clarkson in seventh, Colby Sawyer in eighth, Boston College in ninth, and Castleton College in 10th. Audrey Belding now across the line from Northern Michigan University in 1:33.35, giving her a combined score of 3:04.53. Catherine Summers from James Madison University on course now through the second interval split. And Corey Tolkien, also from Lehigh University, she's on course. And now from the United States Military Academy, Jennifer Roque is on course. Crossing the finish line, Catherine Summers now from James Madison University in a time of 1:38.66 and a combined score of 3:10.00. Corey Tolkien from Lehigh, Jennifer Roque from the United States Military Academy. To come down next in the start box is Laura Turek from James Madison University. Here comes Corey Talkin from Lehigh. Now over the head wall is Jennifer Roque from the United States Military Academy. 3 gates to go for Corey Talkin. Talkin now in her tuck. And across the stripe she flies into the finish corral is Corey Talkin from Lehigh University with a time of 141.35 and a combined time of 313.95. Jennifer Roque from the United States Military Academy now halfway through, moving into the lower third. Laura Turek from James Madison is on course at the top, yet to come over the head wall. You know, Chris, it does kind of illustrate how much course is up there, as we're only looking at about 28 or 29 gates of a 46-gate course. So there's quite a bit of skiing above the head wall up there. As you can see, we just don't have access to visuals of it here from our broadcast vantage point here at the bottom of Barker Mountain at Sunday River. I did have an opportunity to talk to a couple of the racers, though, after the first run. They said conditions were holding up pretty good up there. And then, of course, with the reset, you get out of any ruts that had developed, and you get to start over again. So good conditions here at Sunday River today for this women's giant slalom. As Jennifer Roque from the United States Military Academy crosses the finish line in 141.10 for a combined time of 314.45. United States Military Academy well represented here today. Future military leaders of our country. It's always nice to have them around. From Stanford University, Olivia Jackson now, of course, wearing bib 72, as Laura Turek from James Madison University crosses the finish line in 138.68 with a combined time of 312.16. Again, Kristen Leggett, your national champion for the 2010 Women's Giant Slalom. A great day for her, but not much time to celebrate, as they will go back to practicing for a slalom tomorrow, and then we'll run the slalom beginning at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. We'll broadcast that to you live here at www.uscsa.com. All part of the USCSA radio network coverage of the 2010 USCSA National Championships here at Sunday River. Boss Hogg alongside Chris Aliano from the broadcast booth at Barker Mountain, as we run down the last 10 racers here for the second round. Dana Stapleton across the finish line now from the United States Military Academy. Her second run time of 1:45.81. And a combined time of 3:21.45. Now Olivia Jackson into the bottom third from Stanford University. She'll be followed by Alexandra Klebe from Penn State. And sitting in the top starter's box waiting for her second run from Syracuse University is Nicole Salzman. Now across the finish line, bib 72 Olivia Jackson from Stanford University, finishing in 1:43.51 for a combined time of 319.37 for Olivia Jackson. Alexandra Klebe now on course for Penn State University, makes her way over the head wall. And Nicole Salzman from Syracuse up in the starter shack awaiting her final run. Getting a quick rundown for your top 10 finishers here. Kristen Leggett from Castleton College wins it. Kendall Brown in the second position from Westminster College. Martina Ryberg in the sneak up from 11th to 3rd to make the podium from Plymouth State. She'll finish 3rd. Maria Camilla Franchini from Westminster in 4th, and Joanna Gillison from Sierra Nevada College in the 5th slot, as Alexandra Klebe from Penn State University crosses the finish line in 127.32. A pretty good second run for Alexandra, giving her a combined time of 310.78. Nicole Salzman now from Syracuse. She's on course. And Rose Monroe from the United States Military Academy is in the start house awaiting her final run.
Our last two racers of this phenomenal day, boss. A tremendous giant slalom event. congratulations again to Kristen Leggett. Very promising career, kicking off as a freshman with a USCSA National Giant Slalom Championship.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Chris. I mean, where do you go from there? You win a national championship in your freshman year in college. It certainly puts a target and bullseye on your back for the next 3 years you come.
Well, it certainly gets the USSA officials looking at you. Of course, I know she had some race points heading into the season, so she's a tremendous athlete. Yeah, you never know. You can look at her on the developmental track after college and beyond. Tremendous year for Miss Leggett. And, of course, for Martina Ryberg as well, representing the Eastern region very well.
Now Nicole Salzman from Syracuse University crossing the finish line wearing bib number 61. And a super second run for Nicole Salzman at 120.64, giving her a combined time of 304.84. Rose Monroe from the United States Military Academy. She is now on course. We should be seeing her. And Gianna Aveni, who had a crash in the first round. They have her listed in the top of the rate shack, but I don't believe she's going to be making her second run. In fact, I actually spoke to Gianna after the first run. We were a little worried about her when we didn't see her come down, and nothing but just a tweaked knee. We don't think it's anything major. I don't think it requires any x-rays, but she had a big bag of ice and a smile on her face, and although her knee's probably going to hurt a little bit tonight, it's always nice to see them when they got the smile on their face. So Rose Monroe from the United States Military Academy, our final racer here for the second round of this two-round women's giant slalom competition from Sunday River, Maine. And definitely an exciting two runs of competition we've gotten to witness here. We got started about 9:30 this morning, and the ladies finished their slip. We sent the forerunners down, and then the competition began. We took the top 30 racers from the first round. We reversed their order and started them out to begin the second round, and it was wild, fast, and furious action here from Barker Mountain and the T2 Monday Morning Ski Run, home of this 2010 Women's Giant Slalom. And now through the finish line comes Rose Monroe from the United States Military Academy in a time of 144.26 and a combined time of 329.01. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Our final racer is down the course. But the day belongs again to Castleton College's Kristen Leggett. Out of the second place position after the first run, she overtakes her competition and wins her first national championship here at the 2010 USCSA Women's Giant Slalom. Finishing in second place, Kendall Brown from Westminster College. In third place, Martina Ryberg from Plymouth State. In fourth position, Maria Camilla Fraschini from Westminster College. And in the fifth position, it is Joanna Gillison from Sierra Nevada College. Fun day of racing, Chris. Enjoyed working with you. We'll see you back here tomorrow, I guess, as we'll do it all over again. The men kick off bright and early at 9:30 tomorrow morning for some men's giant slalom action. And I've already had an opportunity to talk to some of the fellas, and they are ready to race tomorrow.
You've got some tremendously talented men coming up tomorrow and on Saturday as well. Expect some tremendous results. And expect this course to hold up just as well as it did today. Had some fast times, and you're going to see some even faster times tomorrow, boss. Looking forward to it, and it's always a pleasure working with you, sir.
Don't forget, we have our medal ceremonies this afternoon right at 3:30 here at the bottom of the T2 Morning Glory Trail. You'll see the big award ceremonial stand that is set up next to the chairlift here. We invite all of you to come back at 3:30. Lots of hardware to give out this afternoon as we are going to make the awards from yesterday and today's cross-country events. Also, the women's half-pipe snowboard event yesterday and the women's free ski half-pipe event. We'll give those hardware out along with all of the events from today. So a big night on the awards podium this afternoon at 3:30. If you're anywhere near the area here at Sunday River, we ask that you come by and check that out. Should be a lot of fun to celebrate the victories and the performances of these great athletes. That's going to do it here for us from the bottom of Barker Mountain in beautiful Sunday River, Maine. The 2010 United States Collegiate Ski and Snowboard Association's national champion. She was crowned today, and we'd like to give our Well, we'd like to give our greatest congratulations to our national champion today from Castleton College, Miss Kristen Leggett. On behalf of the USCSA and the USCSA Radio Network, this is Boss Hogg. Chris Alano is next to me. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
Sexual physique, you know me well, Bill. Do me, oh my, well, can't you tell? I'm just like a turtle crawling out of my shell. Girl, you captivate my body, put me under a spell. With your couscous perfume, I love your sweet smell. You're the only young girl who can ring my bell, and I can take rejection. So you tell me go to well, I'm bombastic, tell me fantastic. Put me on my back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic, tell me fantastic. She touch me on my back, she says I'm Mr. Boom, 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 bombastic. Tell me fantastic. Touch me on my back, she call me Mr. Romantic. Tell me fantastic. She touch me on my back, she says I'm Mr. Boom, boom. Gee whiz, baby please, let me take you to an island of the sweet cool breeze. You don't feel like drive? Well baby, hand me the keys, and I will take you to a place and set your mind at ease. Don't you tickle my foot bottom, baby please. Don't you play with my nose, cause I'm a hatchoon sneeze. Well, you are the bun and me are the cheese, and if I'm me are the rice, baby.